Hi, I'm Mark Rothman, Progress Coach, and I like helping you achieve that success that is just beyond the success you're living in right now. We all have that vision, and I want to help you achieve it because you both desire it and you deserve it. And thanks for checking out my attitude video. Thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Hit a like if you like this video. And today we're going to talk about attitude from a kind of scientific perspective and how that's different, how many of us think about it. And along the way, I'm going to tell my famous baggie story. So if you haven't heard it, definitely stick around and check that out. You know, and one thing about attitude is it kind of reminds me of an old Sacha Baron Cohen character where he'd say, you know, you have to check yourself, sir, before you wreck yourself. You know, that's the idea about attitude, and I think that's what I discover here. So let's get right into it. I like the way rocket scientists define attitude. Unlike us civilians, they don't talk about good or bad attitudes. They define attitude objectively as the angle of an object's position in space. A rocket blasting off from Cape Canaveral, for example, may have an attitude of 90 degrees against the horizontal. The same rocket, as it approaches the International Space Station, may have an attitude of 2 degrees, half a degree against the horizontal. Rocket scientists have one clear view of attitude. The right one will allow something to do what it is supposed to do, such as docking with the space station. Similarly, our angle of approach, our attitude towards a particular matter in our lives, makes a huge difference in how we interpret them. Take property taxes. I can assume the attitude of resentment. I can feel angry and ripped off. I can feel the taxes make me smaller. They take my money. Or I can change my attitude, in this case, to one of gratitude. For instance, in exchange for my property taxes, I get street cleanings, sidewalk repairs, police and fire protection, a network of city parks, a school system, and much more. In an instant, I've shifted my perspective from one of scarcity, look what I'm losing, and for what, to a perspective of abundance. Look at what I get. Suddenly, I have a sense of ownership in all these amazing services. I go from being a loser to being an owner. Losers feel weak and compromised. Owners feel powerful and abundant. Though sometimes difficult, we can make the same shift in other areas. My baggie story proves this for me. When my sons were still in elementary school, my wife and I took turns making their school lunches. When it was my turn, I prepared their sandwiches, vegetables, and snacks, and then always found myself hunting around the kitchen for the baggies in which to put them. Invariably, I would go to the pantry and look on the shelf where I thought they were supposed to be stored, and they wouldn't be there. And I'd silently curse my wife. Why can't she put them back where they belong? By habit, my wife leaves things where she used them last. So if she last used them by the sink, for instance, I'd find the baggies by the sink. If she happened to be using them at the toaster oven, well, that's where they were. Each morning, I hunted for the damn baggies, tortured by the additional task of figuring out where she'd used them last. All this on rushed school mornings with time ticking away, and we'd have to get going or we'd be late, and of course, at least one of the kids hadn't put his shoes on yet. Anyone who's tried to get a kid to school in the morning knows exactly what I'm talking about. One day, I told a friend how I played out this drama in my head each morning, and how I needed to have it out with my wife about the damn baggies. Hold up there, whippersnapper, he said to me. Who buys all the food for the lunches? She does. Who puts it away after shopping? And by the way, who washed all the kids' clothes and put them away in their drawers? I had to admit, she did. And who keeps going to the cabinet expecting to find the baggies where you want them to be, rather than adjusting to where they really are? Me. So maybe it's not her problem. Maybe it's yours. Maybe you need to change your attitude. That little call to accountability felt like a 2x4 upside the head. I couldn't hide from the truth. He was right. I owned the problem because of my attitude. I had the attitude that my wife should do things my way. She should put the baggies back where I thought they belonged. I had the attitude of scarcity and victimization. Look what she's taking from me, time in the morning when I have little of it. Look how she's messing me up. Instead, I needed to hold an attitude of gratitude. Look how much she does for me and our family. Or an attitude of tolerance and acceptance. So what if she leaves the baggies on the counter? Or maybe an attitude of self-reflection. Is my stubborn insistence in my head that she put the baggies back the real problem here? Or an attitude of wanting to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Maybe I need to be willing to adjust to her habits, since the kitchen is really her territory anyway. With each of these thoughts, I felt my mental space expanding and growing. I no longer felt the harsh contraction of anger, frustration, and resentment. I saw new ways to understand the world around me. I found a new way to act. Immediately, I had a better relationship with myself, a relationship without resentment, anger, and bitterness. And in an instant, I had a better relationship with my wife. Though all of this transformation happened without a word to her, I could now approach her with an attitude of appreciation. So often, the root of our problem lies in our attitude. So often, the root of our problem lies in our attitude rather than in the actual situation. My friend helped me see several other attitudes I could have taken to approach this one little problem, besides the one my mind locked onto. And this was just about baggies. What if we start to see the many different attitudes we could take about the big things in our lives, the problems that really get us down? Incidentally, we all know what happens if the rocket has the wrong attitude as it lifts off, if the docking capsule has the wrong attitude as it approaches the space station, or if we try to make our partners responsible for a problem of our own. Unmitigated disaster. Enough said. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Definitely leave comments. I love being in dialogue. Check out my other videos here, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the like if you liked the video. Definitely leave a comment. I really like replying and knowing what you think. And then you can find a link below to my website, markcoach.net. On Instagram, I'm Mark Progress Coach, and Facebook is Mark Rothman Progress Coach. And I'll see you in the next video.